All right, I am in a mild state of panic. Bleh. Uh, which is pretty normal for me. And I was going to explain that. Mother, oh my God, that's so annoying. I was going to explain the cause of my mild state of panic, but then I thought that I would actually work on a browser bot for restaurants that don't use WordPress, which is a thought I had last night as well. Um, and I just thought if I take an existing browser bot and just and an existing website object, and I just tell chat, and I give them both ChatGPT, then it will probably be able to pump out a browser bot that doesn't rely on the WordPress API, like just in one go, probably one shot it. Which I think is true. It's kind of weird though, because I was thinking like, is there a way to like make these restaurant bots simpler so I can pop them out faster? Because we really just need a demo. Because like for a huge number of the cases, like they're just not even gonna give us the time of day. And then for the people that do give us the time of day, maybe it just doesn't get to the next step, And so like by the time you get to people that like looked at the demo and talked to us about the demo and they decided they don't want it because it's not good enough. And even though we explained to them that no, we can make it better, this was purely for demo purposes, but we make it a lot better if you're our actual client. Um, I mean, first of all, that's just going to be a small percentage of them. So it's maybe makes more sense to just simplify the creation of making the bots and just have a larger pool of potential clients, I guess. Um, and come to think, I don't know, the graph is just too cumbersome right now. So that's an issue to deal with. I don't know. I could honestly split it up into like 3 files, so I don't see why not. But anyways, so I can make this browser bot. I feel like it's like it'll be a one shot or at least one shot to. And so anyways, I was thinking I could make it easier and it's like, well, what if I just did the FAQs and I didn't make a giant graph like with the website object and the menu object and the what is the other object that's on there? So there's a menu object, our organization object, person object, services object. There should be a local business object. There should be a restaurant object. See, I just keep on adding more things that I need to do. Um, so people talking in the background distracting me, but obviously can't get mad at that because I am the most talkative motherfucker in the on the premises. That's weird because these people are hanging out here all day and they don't bother me, but then somebody talks in the hallway and I'm like, what the hell? Stop. Anyways, so I feel yeah, the FAQ, yeah, the FAQs, that's the biggest part of the graph. But anyways, if I could just do the FAQs or if I could just split it up into different bots somehow or something, it would if I could just make it like separate the process out and then automate it one piece at a time, maybe that would be easier. But anyways, so the idea is like, well, maybe the FAQ bot isn't as good. Like maybe it's not as thorough, but it would be okay if there were more bots. So it was like, here's the FAQ bot, here's the browser bot, and here's the review bot. Uh, I think that's great. I think that's fine. So yeah, so if I make the browser bot, it could theoretically help me save time on the restaurant demos, even though it seems like it's making it more complicated and ultimately probably going to take longer. So yeah, but the other thing that I was thinking of doing because I was having a panic attack. Let me just go ahead and get this going before I get into that. Well, I was thinking of continuing on with like the demo audit, let's say, let's call it. Switch. Um, I don't know which one to use, and probably using the wrong one is going to be bad. Maybe not. Uh, anyways, so yeah, because two things about the demo audit. Maybe they're the same thing. Anyways, on one hand, it's like okay, now I need a website object. So what is my most recent demo? Because it definitely has a website object that's decent. I mean, yeah. So on one hand, it relieves my panic because it's like, okay, well, I'm reaching out to SEO agencies, so there's always the possibility that something good will come of that. It's always possible that actually they are more eager to work. It's even easier than I ever thought it would be, and I was just like taking too long to get around to doing things, to get around to like contacting them. Um, that is possible, but another possibility is that I'm in the wrong directory. Let's find the right directory for this. So, but yeah, so that's one thing. But the other thing is just like, as I'm panicking and I'm thinking, okay, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Like, how can I move things forward? How can I make things better? How can I, blah, blah, blah. And then it's just like, realizing that I actually have already done a lot of work is sort of comforting. It's calming because it's like, oh, like here's like a fully done thing, and I don't have to put extra work into it. All I have to do is, if I even so much as send an email, that's awesome. So I'll do that. However, let me, yeah, no, I just wanted to, hold on. I just need to find the website object up in this website has part web page, web page, web page, web page, web page. I wonder if I should include the organization object. Let's not do that. Edit the PHP file below so that instead of getting the links from the WordPress API, it gets the links from a JSON object like the example below. And it does not use the WordPress API to fetch the page content or make the buttons. Other than that, keep it as similar as possible and as simple as possible. Anyway, so I'm gonna talk for a second about panicking. Because I have stated on these live streams previously, I'm turning everything I say into a prompt right here. I have previously stated on these live streams that I am always in a state. I only have two settings. One is panic, and the other one is hypermanic. I either have solved, I think I've solved the problem, which means I've identified the problem. Identifying the problem is usually the first, is usually 90% of solving it. Uh, but I don't mean like there's not always just one problem, like one simple problem. Usually it's a complex problem. Usually there's a trade-off involved. Um, so either I have solved the problem and I'm like hypermanic, like, oh my God, this is amazing. Everything's gonna be amazing. Or I have not yet solved the problem and I'm like panicking. Now, what I want to say is that at a previous point in my life, I think I was like bipolar or something. I mean, I think if I were to have like explained my life to a psychiatrist, they would have diagnosed me as bipolar, or the people around me probably saw me as bipolar. Um, and the reason is because when I came upon a problem in life, I didn't know how to solve, and then I would try to brute force solve it. And then if brute force didn't work, I would just get depressed and then just stay depressed for a long time. And then when I like finally stumbled upon a solution, I would become hypermanic for however long that lasted until a new set of problems arose. And now it's like the same process, but it's just like much it like happens possibly like multiple times per day, which isn't bipolar, I guess. I don't know. Because because I didn't know how to like solve problems before. I didn't know how to think through problems. And I think most people don't. I think like 99.99% of people don't know how to think through problems like analytically. Uh but I was like first I like identify what is bothering me and like write down what is bothering me and then write down why it's not easy to solve. So then you get the trade-off, well, if I do this, then this happens, but if I do this, then this happens. There's always some sort of a catch 22 involved in difficult to solve problems, um, which are the only type of problems that are going to cause you to become like depressed or whatever. And a lot of times it's a case of you just have to decide what you care about more and go with that. But anyway, so I tend to solve the problems quickly now. But before it was like 6 months of being depressed and then 6 months of being manic. I mean, it wasn't like a regular schedule like that, but something like that. Um, so I don't know why I wanted to go into that. So I guess it's just so this is my for now my solution. I didn't really like analytically think through the issue at the moment. Like why am I but I guess so that's just my point. My point is just that like because this morning I was getting depressed. Uh and I kind of decided that my solution to my problems was just to become severely depressed. Just to like accept that my life is going to be shit for a long time. But I went for a walk and got a coffee and like thought about some things and then I like realized, okay, there's like a pretty easy way to take my problems and like look at them from a different angle and sidestep the problem and push things in a different direction. And I think I did, but then I ran into another set of problems, uh, which is what I was dealing with just now, which is I mean I don't know. It just felt like making more restaurant demos was kind of pointless. Making more demos seems kind of pointless right now. That's kind of where we're at. But again, so I think that if I have this browser bot, which I really just want the most minimal example right now, and then if I have, and then I go through do the demo audit. I think, I guess but the point is that I think doing the demo audit is going to relieve my anxiety, which is a good indication that it's an actually good utilization of my time. Because again, it's like it's kind of a relief to because I forget about what I've already done. And then I'm like, okay, do more, do more, do more, another one, another one, another one. And it's like when I see like, oh, I already have like a full demo here and I never even sent them an email. Uh, which before I wouldn't send them an email because it's like, oh, there's like I want it to be part of a whole entire systematic process. But now it's like since I've switched my focus back to restaurants, it's like I can afford to just try my luck with the SEO companies. Because if they say no or they ignore me, I didn't really lose anything because I wasn't going to pursue them otherwise. I feel like I lost a small amount of the thread there. Yeah, browser bots and then the demos and doing the demo audit. And between those two things, if I like, okay, I'm revamping the possibility of getting an SEO. Also, I don't know. Yeah, but revamping the ability of getting an SEO client. That's like positive. optimistic dopamine. And then on top of that, like systemizing the way of making chatbots for restaurants, so I don't have to spend a lot of time on it. Uh, both of those things are like zooming, zoom, zoom, zoom. If I have both of those systems going at the same time, that would really uh, significantly increase my productivity or my perception of productivity going forward. Uh, the other thing about it is Mo and Ollie, a situation with Mo and Ollie. So, on the one hand, I realize I can't push them too much. They're never gonna like be like, hit the mattresses. This is the only thing 24/7. This is what we do. Make or break, live or die. We're going to start this fucking business, you know, which was originally kind of how I was anticipating it being, even though I knew it wasn't realistic. Uh, but also the on the other hand, I don't think at this point in time, I don't think it's realistic to say that they are useless to me, that they can't possibly help me. Like it's pretty clear that both of them do have some amount of ability to help me. So when you put those two things together, it's like, okay, I should have them helping me, but I can't push them too hard. And that means I actually have like a lot of time in the day to do other things. There's only a certain like a pretty narrow chunk of the day that I need to spend getting them going on tasks and helping them and supervising them with tasks. And then like the rest of the day I can spend on SEO stuff. So I can kind of go back to the plan I was doing, which is like SEO Monday through Friday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is restaurants. And I don't have to because so and like the other thing is like it's like why I thought making demos is kind of pointless. I mean, making demos for SEO companies seems kind of pointless to me because I'm not even focused on SEO right now. So that's because like if I'm focused on SEO companies and I'm trying to generate SEO leads or partnership leads and all that, then like Mo and Ollie being around is just a huge distraction. It's just endless interruptions. So I don't want that. Um, but on the other hand, like for example, today I wanted to add the feed to the resource. Now Mo has been talking about the resource. Like he likes the idea. He keeps on telling me you should do this, and I keep telling him I am doing that. You're helping me do. We are already working on the thing that you're telling me we should be working on. That is already the plan. That's the idea. And so it's like good because he's like, yeah, like I think he's realizing in his own way like what would be actually a useful tool that we can create. Um, so that's a positive thing. But if I were to say to him like, "Oh, I'm gonna add the feed to this, and like, can you like stay here and help me like test it and like work on it and tell people about it, post on Instagram about it," like he's not gonna do that because first of all, he needs to scroll through TikTok for like 15 hours per day, and then he's got to go do a podcast and an open mic. So it's like okay, like we could keep working on these like an hour a day. Like pretty much that's kind of like where it's at, like hour a day with Mo, hour a day with Ali, and that's perfect. And then we're like moving forward this like hobby project basically, but I still have like time to work on the SEO stuff. uh but if I'm starting with the audit, then I don't know, it doesn't have to be this like super hyper efficient system. As I explained before, the audit sort of frees me from like if I'm looking or auditing something that I made a month and a half ago like I did today, then I am not, like, counting every second that I work on it as, like, part of, like, "Oh, this is how long it takes me to make a demo now." Like, it's detached from the process of making it, so I can just and again, like, a lot of these are already done, so it's just sort of, like, somewhat anxiety relieving that I've already done it. Okay, anyways, I over explained that. I didn't wanna explain all that. It's as much as I even did, but, I don't want there's, like, 0 chance it's gonna work. Why is it going through this same as has part shit? I guess it has to parse into the correct level of the nest. Alright, let's just, put it in there and see if it works or not. Just give it a try. Football pizza. It has a man wait. Football Pizza already has a browser? Damn, that was the wrong one to use. Is Football Pizza really a WordPress website? I can't believe it. Shit, Football Pizza is a WordPress website. So I already have a browser for them. Uh, well, wait. Did I yeah, I think that the cardinal bar graph does have a website object. Uh, nope, can't open it that way. 26 kilobytes big, it better have a website object. And honestly, this is better because it's a Spot Hopper website. So that means that if it works, then not that every Spot Hopper website I can follow the exact same formula, but like there's going to be less variation than there would be with uh all right. Then there would be for a non-Spot Hopper website, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I really need to drink some water. I don't want to. I'll do it. Let's just make sure I didn't destroy the audio. Hello. 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 Yep, we're good. Let's see. Do I have enough money to buy Dominoes, which I don't even want? I don't even need, but oh, it's also Kill Tony night. I don't care. Gotta get this shit going. Let's see. Is ChatGPT done? The question is, did it change the URL that we're working with? Functions at PHP. Damn. Did it change the URL to Cardinal Tavern? Yay or nay? Where is the URL? What is this? Oh, yep, it did. Okay, cool, cool. Wait, no, that is inside of the object. In fact, I should not have even. I'm confused as hell right now. I would say this might actually help me with the whole idea of putting the JSON on the front end, because if it's already parsing the JSON in order to create the browser bot, then that's one less step. Okay, so it used example.com, which is good enough because I can. Yeah, I have $3. I cannot buy Domino's. I would have to stand outside with a sign. I wonder how long I'd have to stand outside with a sign before I could get $2 to get Domino's pizza. And I wonder if I would get it faster or slower if the sign said, I am going to use, or just if the sign just said, I need $2 to buy a Domino's medium pizza. I bet you anything if I put a, oh my God, holy shit. How are we not already doing this? I bet you if you were to go outside with a sign right now that just said like, no EBT, hungry without EBT, something like that, you would make a lot of money right now in this city. Um, what am I doing? Okay. I need to copy this code and then I need to replace. Now this one is for who? This one's for Cardinal Bar? Oh God. I'm so stupid. I shouldn't have done Cardinal Bar because I don't wait, I know I think I do have a demo for them so far. Let's see. Cardinal Tavern. Let me edit the oops, no, I don't want to edit anything. What I do want to do is I don't know what I'm doing. This is wild. Create a browser.php. Post it in there. Oh my God, holy moly. All right, and now I can just see whether or not it works, I believe, as long as I can figure out what the URL parameter is, which would be Cardinal Tavern. Okay, it pops up. Does it work? Wah, wah, wah. No, of course not. Okay, let's go see what if the error log is telling me anything useful here. But I will say that, let me think about this. The browser bot, I should really open another browser bot. There we go. The football pizza browser should work. And there's probably, okay, well, for starters, I need to change the part where it says example.com. So that is not correct. I have a lot of browser files open right now, and I do not need them all open. Okay. Did the error log say anything useful? Well, we got a chatbot response. Browser was the next prompt. That's all good. PHP fatal error cannot redeclare load chat history. Okay. That's a good error, because that is an easy one to fix. Oh, where's our base? Okay. Example.com. So we're gonna switch example.com out for what is it? Cardinal Tavern. Give me the URL, please, sir. All right. So right. So I changed the URL, and now I just need to delete the function definitions. I think. I have not seen any function definition in here. Is it? I wonder if was that error really generated from me just now? I think it was. Load chat history. You know what I think the issue is that I just don't even need to require the functions because they've already been added at that point. So let me see here if yeah, I'm pretty sure normally for browsers, I don't even have that line. There's no require functions. So let's just delete that. Let's just, yeah, comment out that line at least and see if that changes anything. Where did my demo go? New chat. Let's go. Come on. Work. Holy moly. It's working. Hell yeah, dog. Let's see what happens if I click on the menu link. So I think, one of the things, I think that's a good way to go, actually. Um, I don't know why. I feel like people, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I mean, I guess I know what I'm trying to say. I just, each time I think about what I'm about to say, I think, wait, is that really true? But like, uh, I don't know. I guess like the FAQ, the knowledge bot, I guess I'm just trying to avoid a situation where people think that this chatbot is a replacement for their website. I mean, it is. It is totally a replacement for the website, but that's something that they will realize gradually and incrementally. It's not a thing where they're going to decide right now, okay, no more website. Now, from now on, we have an AI chatbot. And so, what I'm trying to demonstrate is the ways that the website and the chatbot can be integrated, and not just that the chatbot pops out from the website, but that like the content from within the website from the website can be pulled into the chatbot. Uh, and so if you want to change what your chatbot says, you change the content of your website. Uh, and I guess in theory also the website can be used to navigate. That used to be my favorite idea, was that like the website behind the chatbot would like relocate to your favorite place. Okay, let's just make sure these links work before we get overly excited. Dude, that works pretty good for almost one shot. I mean, pretty minimal editing. Sweet. And now I have a template. Now every single one I make that has this web page object. Oops, I'm not even sharing this. Oh, it's okay. Awesome. I like that. Because for SEO agencies, like 90% of SEO agencies use WordPress. But for restaurants, it's like 10%. So it did kind of suck to have like built this whole system around WordPress websites and automating turning WordPress websites into chatbots. And now Um, like none of that matters because I'm not doing WordPress. I'm doing restaurants. Anyways, okay, so right. So the other thing was the SEO audit. That's cool though. That makes me want to make more restaurant demos because now I have a browser bot for every restaurant demo. But I wonder if I could make a chatbot that like crafts an Instagram post. That would be better than a blog post. But yeah, I'm probably gonna. So yeah, the other thing, what I was trying to say earlier, or is like it's just kind of weird. It's like, well, if the knowledge bot has all of the links, then why do I even need the browser bot? And like, if they're doing the same exact thing, what? But the knowledge bot can't actually pull in the content at this point, so I don't know. Um, but I kind of just want to show people, like, okay, so it can work like this, where it just answers questions, or it can work like this, where it's like pulling content in from your website. It's just a different way of browsing your website, basically. And I could also make the browser bot work more like the index bot, where you just type in and it chooses the most likely page to have the answer, and then tries to answer your question based on that page. And I could also, which truly makes the WordPress into like just a rag database. Uh, the other thing I could do is, what the hell was I about to say? Yeah, make it more like a WordPress. No, what the hell am I trying to say? Oh my god. I don't know. I feel like I was trying to say something about how it goes both ways. Like the browser bot can be more like the index bot, and the index bot can be more like the browser bot. So, the index bot could just know what pages there are and choose a page for you. I don't know. Uh, and then ultimately the knowledge bot and the browser bot can be also perfectly integrated. But anyways, the point is to split all these different methods up so that like maybe they're not interested in one type of chatbot, but the other one they like. Anyway, so now every restaurant demo can have a browser bot, it can have a FAQ bot, and it can have a review bot. And honestly, it's insane that I'm not doing web form bots. The only reason I'm not doing web form because in my mind it is so obvious that web form bots are easy, but there's no reason for anybody that's looking at my demos to know that. But yeah, if I do this and I just don't put the web pages in the knowledge bot, so then it's like, okay, if you're talking to the knowledge bot, you're just getting answers. If you want links, you should go talk to the browser bot. It's a clear distinction of, and that way I don't have to have this website object in the graph, and that will make the creation of the rag bot easier in the first place, or FAQ bot, or knowledge bot, whatever. They're all so mixed up at this point. Okay, so this is gorgeous. That's good. So I really just need I did this last night. I just keep on wanting to repeat the types of objects that need to be in the graph over and over and over again. Organization, person, service, possibly local business, restaurant, event type, menu, website. I don't know. Honestly, the website object really should be in there. We'll see. I'll wait until it proves to be at least mildly annoying that it's not in there. Oh, you know what though? Shh. I'm using a filter. Why is the filter on? How is anything getting through this filter? That's wild. Anyway, so these are all the pages. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages, which is, let's see how many are in the object. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, was that 9 or did I count wrong? Okay, well, anyways, there's no reason to have a filter on this. So where did that filter go? Mm, flag. Okay, I don't know, but the keywords are like restaurant keywords. So like drinks, menu, jobs, accessibility, events. Wait, all right, I gotta ask ChatGPT, how do I remove these keywords? That's ridiculous. Okay, so now do I make more demos or do I feel like I want to make more demos because I have the browser now, but then once I actually get started on it, I'll be like, oh God, this is tedious. Never mind. But again, I feel like if I chop it up into like make the FAQ schema, make the and then I make like the FAQ schema for like 15 different ones. and then I make the website object for 15 different ones. And then I make well, but I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, I could just do an FAQ, FAQ plus menu. Huh. FAQ plus menu. That said, the browser will now have a menu, won't it? I should really just make the simplest, shittiest demo possible and w- just force the world to tell me it's not good enough rather than trying to make it better and better and better, but not actually showing it to anybody. How do I disable the filter in this file? All right, let's see. I definitely broke it. Looks good. Okay, so now the question is, do I continue with the demo audit or do I make more restaurant demos? I don't know. But my throat hurts, so I'm gonna stop live streaming.